I rolled over on the bed to look at Chad. Chad, is there a legal way to contest what they plan to do with Sheila? I mean, could someone like me do it? Someone who isn't her guardian? I think the school district would back me. Maybe. I suppose you could try. I imagine you'd have to call a hearing with her father and the parents of the little boy she abused and the child protection workers and all that. You could go through due process. You know all that. I did not know. I had about as much understanding of the judicial system as I did the theory of relativity, but I hated Chad to think so. Would you take it on, Chad? His eyebrows shot up. Me? I don't know anything about that kind of thing. What you need is someone specializing in that sort of law. Cripes, Tor, my experience is confined to getting the drunks out of jail. I smiled. Your experience and my bank account are about equal. I'm supposing that if I advocate, I'll have to pay for it. Chad rolled his eyes. Another charity case, huh? He grinned. I guess no one ever promised me I'd get rich. Oh, someday you will, just not this year. When the superintendent of school discovered that I had engaged a lawyer to look into the case, there was a meeting scheduled immediately. For the first time, I met Mrs. Barthuli, Sheila's former teacher. She was a petite woman in her early 40s with a delicate smile. As all 5'9" of me in my Levi's and tennis shoes towered over her, I could well imagine Sheila might have been a trial to her. Ed Summers was also there, as well as Alan the psychologist, Mr. Collins, Anton, the superintendent, and the resource room teacher who had had Sheila in kindergarten the year before. I had brought along examples of Sheila's schoolwork and some videotapes that Anton had made of her in class. Alan reported on the test results. Sheila's former teachers were impressed and said so. Even Mr. Collins commented on the overall improvement in Sheila's behavior. The superintendent was less enthusiastic. Yet he was encouraged by Sheila's progress and by her unusual IQ. He agreed to stand behind me in stating that the state hospital was not the appropriate placement for Sheila. He asked that Chad come in and see him. I left in jubilant spirits. The other major person to involve was Sheila's father. The next time he saw the man home, Anton called me, and Chad and I came out immediately. Sheila doesn't belong in the state hospital, I explained. She's doing very nice work in school, and I think she might even be able to go back to a regular class next fall. He tipped his head slightly. Why do you care what they want to do with her? You've got a special daughter, I replied. Going to the state hospital would be the wrong move for her. I don't want to see that happen to her because I think she can lead a normal life. He heaved a great sigh. All his life he'd been in trouble. Sheila had been in trouble. He had learned to trust nobody, and so had his daughter. Now I came, and he could not understand. We talked far into the night. Chad and Anton drank beer with him while I made notes. Sheila fell asleep on the floor while we talked. Her father agreed with us, eventually. At last we convinced him that it was not charity or do-gooding or a nasty trick. In his own way, he loved Sheila and needed as much compassion as she did. That was a strange evening. All of us were a little tipsy. Chad, with his experience of defending the Skid Row residents, seemed to get along with Sheila's father better than the rest of us. In a way, I was glad the hospital situation came up. It forced us to recognize each other's places in Sheila's life. That was better for everybody. The hearing was held on the very last day of March. It was a dark, cold, windy day, promising snow on the eve of April. Not a good day to boost spirits. I had to take the afternoon off from school, as did Anton. Mr. Collins came with us. At first I was suspicious, wondering if he were simply protecting his own interests. But as I aired out some of the closed portions of my own mind, I came to see that he cared in his own way as much for the children as I, even for Sheila. It was a closed hearing. Across the room from us were the parents of the little boy and their lawyer.